Hello, my name is Sean Sands from Gamers with Jobs, and we're here to take a look at Frostpunk. I don't think this will be a full series. This is a new game by, I want to say, 11-Bit Studios, the makers of This War of Mine. It's a strategy, city builder, survival, like pseudo RPG. It's just a lot of fun. It's a bunch of stuff. It's pretty cool. So I want to kind of take a look at it maybe over an episode or two to kind of get a sense of what Frostpunk is all about. I played a little bit of it, not a lot. So I'm not coming into this with, here's my expert build order. One of the things I think I'm going to like about this game, actually, speaking of build orders, is it seems like it supports a lot of different ways to play. You can play in a sort of very ruthless way. You're, leading the last dregs of humanity in a completely unforgiving environment with very few resources. And so there's some really key decisions you have to make about how you will how you'll support that population, how that population will live, how you'll make, right? If they're living on the ragged edge of survival, there are hard choices to make about, how you take care of people who get sick, how you handle children. Like, do they work? Or, do you teach them? What laws you enact, where how long people are expected to work to be able to sustain. Like, it's a tough environment. It's a very, right, it's a sort of like 11-bit's forte in some way, creating this, not dystopia is not the right word, it's sort of the cliche word that everybody uses, but this very fatalistic, dire situation, and putting a strong mood and a strong aesthetic around it, which is, it really kind of, it's unique in that way. Anyway, enough of me talking over a menu. We will start from the ground up, and I'll let you kind of take a look at the first cutscene, which I love the art style of it. It's very, it's that sort of stylistic animation. You'll see in a second that a lot of people are using but we're doing a new home scenario, preserve civilization, right? Take 2, a new home. To preserve civilization from the chaos of its own downfall, we have fled to the end of the world. We will have to adapt to survive. Who will we become in the process? Note, you can customize difficulty and economy and all sorts of things. We'll just do it on the default, and I'll let you watch this. Well, no, this is a loading screen. You've seen these before. Yeah, it's I believe this game comes out, I want to say tomorrow. I would have to make sure. I don't think it's quite out yet. It's a game I actually would have expected to be in early access. It just has that feel about it, but no, it's a full kind of final release, officially launched game. And yeah, here you go. Take a look.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
So you get the basic idea. New home. We fled from London across the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world, as we know it, has crumbled. We have to survive. So, at the center of your city is the generator, your lone source of heat and energy in this desolate wasteland, and you have to fight the cold. So you begin by needing to get the generator up and running. A quick look at what you're looking at here from a UI point of view, which is just like it's so clean, it's so smooth, it elicits that feeling of just a brutal chill in its efficiency, and it's colored like I love it. I love everything about what these guys do to create a sense of place and a sense of setting. It's awesome. Up here you have your resources: coal, wood, steel, and steam cores. Over here you have your amount of raw food. You can also scroll the screen, as well as food rations. You have your time controls over here, and over here you have the current like calendar. And one thing to note is that temperature rises and falls over time, and those rises and falls either provide you opportunities or provide you significant challenges. Once you have this up and running, it generates heat outward. So things closer, I mean, like it works like you know how heat works. Like if you're next to a fire, don't be 10 feet away, you won't be warm. Like it's basic. I don't have to understand like that. You get that concept. I really hope. We'll pause. We're wasting time here. You have workers and you have engineers. Workers are your manual labor. Engineers do more of the technological stuff. And first thing we need to do is get some coal. But we also are going to want to grab some wood, I think. We'll get some wood from these wooden crates. And do we want a lot of coal? Let's go ahead and grab a lot of coal and a little steel. I'm going to leave some engineers back because I think you need them to build. And we're going to want to start building sooner rather than later. So I love oh, it just looks so cold. I'm just so glad I'm not here. We can see one of our big problems is that none of these people live anywhere. They're huddled around a generator that isn't working. We do have some stockpiles. This is just where we put all of our resources. I love this, where they just sort of carve a path through the snow to get to where they're going. And as the snow kind of comes in behind it, like it will fill it back in. None of this is permanent. Right? Yeah, it's just it's so evocative. So evocative. I love it very, very much. So we have 30 wood. We know we need homes, and we will begin with that. It makes sense to me. I don't see any reason not to do it, to just build all of our tents right around here. We have some tutorials over here, camera controls and resources work. I get it. I already get it. So we'll speed up game speed a little bit. We're immediately gathering. So it's not like a resource generation where you have to bring it back, like a Warcraft style where you go and cut down trees, or StarCraft, and until you bring it back to the center. We can actually activate our generator too, because we do have coal. So we turned it on. And you can see here that the amount of coal we have is enough to sustain it for 20 hours. These people are obviously still working very far from, this. So they are at a cold pile, which is chilly, I think is a kind way to put it. While these internal places, you can actually get, where's the temperature overlay? They have that somewhere. I'll find it in a minute. There's an overlay you can do, and I just have to remember where it is, where you can actually see where things are warm, where they're cold. We're building kind of slowly here. I think I do. Food. The generator hums with reassuring warmth, but we shouldn't take it for granted. The generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserves. Now, food. There will be no city if we starve to death. I mean, if you say so. Secure a way to provide raw food and build a cookhouse to prepare meals. So we also know something else we need to build. Another thing we're managing down here is discontent versus hope. Discontent, as this increases, it puts you more at risk for a variety of things, and hope obviously is a thing that you want to increase. And the workday only runs from, I think, 8 a.m. until we're going to build a lot more houses. I mean, you can set laws around when the workday is, but I think it's 8 a.m. until, well, whatever it is, 6, right? 1800 is, God, I should know that, right? It's 6. I want to say it's 6. 5? 6. I don't know. Okay, 18 minus 12 is 6. Okay, so workday is from 8 to 6, and during that time is when people will be out gathering resources. Now, as we get to a position where we can build it, we'll find that the cookhouse, or specifically hunters who go out into the wilds beyond our minor shelter here, collect food, but they do it primarily at night. So some shifts are during the day, some at night. There are laws you can pass that also impact when you expect people to work. Let's see. What else? Mostly right now, so because it's nighttime, we're going to have some people who are homeless tonight. They're just going to have to spend their night out here in the dark, cold, I don't know, the ring around the fire. Buildings does still continue through, I want to say there's a point where the construction stops for the night. So even though the work shift only impacts gathering and other things like that, there is a need for building stuff, and that does continue for a while. So we've housed over half of our people. Obviously, these are, extremely basic inhabitants, functioning at base heat level. Like, they're basically tents with a little bit of warmth in them. And you can, nicely you can kind of go and check out each person. You get some information on them. You can see where they live, where they work, who they're married to, what their concerns are. And health. Health is an issue. The more cold you are, the more likely you are, at least in the early game, to have a health issue. So sending people out to work, particularly as it drops to minus 40 degrees Celsius, which it will do in just over 3 days' time, makes that much more likely. Oh, notice also, see, I told you the snow was going to start piling up in these little, I love this so much, so much. So we'll go through the night here. First couple of days, obviously not a ton we can do in between. And somebody's already sick. Super great. That's great. Because they were cold, presumably. Who is this person and where are they? Oh yeah, see? This person, right, we don't have any houses. So this person right here got sick, having to sleep huddled up against the generator because they don't have anywhere to live. So we're off to a rousing start. We'll need to focus on getting a med bay up relatively quickly, along with focus. So as I'm thinking about this, we need more people on wood, right? Because wood is really critical early on for a lot of our buildings. Everybody starts waking up around 5 a.m., but they don't have to go to work until 8. We'll pause. We have an event here. Critical shortage. The number of sick is rising. I know. We don't have enough material to build a medical post. I know. Perhaps a short burst of effort could help us gather the necessary resources. So it's Book of Laws is the things you can pass. I could pass here the ability to call an emergency shift. It'll raise discontent, but people will work a very long time, and we will get our early resources early on. So I'm actually tempted to do this. I hadn't done this in my last one, but I think I didn't do as well getting my... I think my mix of coal to wood was off. I think I needed to be more aware of the need to get wood up and running. So you know what? I think we are going to assign that. And how do I activate that? Building ability. You unlocked a new building ability. You assign building abilities can be affected. Does it happen here? Or is it by inhabitant? No, don't dismantle anything. So what building did I unlock that in? This is the economy. Not gonna look at that right now. Alright, so I passed this thing. We can only pass so many. You can't just unload a bunch of laws, which is a good idea. I feel like it should be here. So our discontent did go up, as promised. Work, work, work until you die. Okay, so we're good on coal. I'm actually going to reduce our coal workers down a bit. Actually, we only well, let's not do this one. Let's take them out of here, and I want to get more people on wood, which is, nope, that's steel. That's wood. So I'm going to put them over here because we got several things we need to build sooner rather than later. I'm also going to... Where are all my engineers? I'm just going to... I need 5 people to sort of stay back and build stuff. I got to figure out how to activate that law I just recommended because I want everybody to please go ahead and work. Work till you die. We'll talk about this later. You can overdrive your generator to increase the heat over a short period of time. Oh, you can do it by... Got it. So it's not everybody all at once. All right, so I'm not going to kick that off yet. We'll kind of see. Everybody's back to work now, so we'll see how it looks at the end of the day. We have 10 people still homeless, and we want to build... we want to build food, and we want to build a medical post. And I might build a medical post sooner rather than later, since we have 2 people who are sick. It's one thing if they're sick. It's a whole other thing if they're gravely sick. So, let time speed up a bit. Well, we go ahead and build the last tent that we need in the short term. That will give everybody a home at least. We can see down here how long it is until I can pass another law. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. That gives you the toggle overlay. I finally remembered. So you can see here, like individuals put out a certain amount. It's just chilly, right? Minus 20 degrees, just chilly. People seem dressed for it. They're fine. The homes here, you know, anything sort of in this immediate radius, right? It's measured not in sort of, it's not going to be sort of fluctuating, like they're one of 6 levels. And so everything right now is chilly or above. Comfortable is obviously the best. This is where you want to be. As degrees drop, so when it talks about temperature will drop significantly by 2 levels, so everything will be in a position where it will drop by 2 degrees. So all these homes will go from likely comfortable to chilly. This area out here will go from livable to cold, and we'll need to make some adjustments to account for that. We'll see that more in a couple of days. And that cold snap lasts for, it looks like, 2 days. We have, let's go ahead and do health first. Yeah, let's do that there. And food, we're going to want Hunter Hut first because we got to... Well, no, actually we want a cook place first because we already have raw food. So I think... And we got to be careful about this. This is a thing that worries me a little bit because this outer area... this is going to be positively... it's going to be unreasonable to have people working here in a couple of days. So we will need to keep that in mind, but it just doesn't fit into that slot. You also have roads, which are these things here. Buildings have to be hooked up to roads, as you would expect. I love the little, like you can see the heat pipes running underneath them, which is, I assume, the reason things have to be connected up to roads. I assume that roads, along with making it easy for people to get around, also transmit heat to buildings that need it. We're very close to having that. Another thing I very much want is my workshop, and I will probably go ahead and grab that now, because workshop is obviously our tech. There's a lot of tutorials over here. I'm not going to go through them, I don't think, even though perhaps I should. So this needs workers. Our medical post needs workers. So we're going to fill that with engineers. And they're already treating one of those sick workers, which is good. If we can get that other one before they become gravely ill, that would be all the better. Where are you? Carrying resources. So this is that dude there. Presumably he will go to the doctor after he is done. Yeah, and now he's going to treatment. Awesome. So our discontent is already gone. Well, we don't have discontent because we didn't activate the law. Even though we have the law, we did not actually need to activate it, which is good. We will grab a hunter's hut as well, I think. We have a gathering post. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get a hunter's hut. So we have streets here. Let's go ahead and build some streets, actually. We'll just kind of build it around here. No. Yeah. Put the two food buildings right next to each other. There's a lot of things to do early on. So we secure a raw food supply by building a hunter's hut or hothouse, and we build a cookhouse and start preparing meals. We only have 93 efficiency over here. Oh, because nobody's working that. Now I could, if I wanted to, or felt like I had a reason to, activate my law now, but nah. I don't want to do that discontent, and I think we're okay with resources right now. This will give us a chance to have the rest of our buildings put into place. We are going to need some workers. We only need 1 or 2 workers for the cookhouse because we have a relatively low population. We do not want to use, so we'll use three dudes just to build up a stockpile of food rations. And we're going to need some hunters as well. So we're going to, okay, people, I'll come back and do that in a second. People from our convoy. With basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind. Build a beacon, scout Frostland, and scout Frostland? Is that the name of like this country? And save as many survivors from our expeditions as possible. You'll need a workshop, which I just built to design plans for more advanced buildings. We're not gonna, we are gonna want to get a beacon fairly fast, but I actually think I might have something else I want to get first. We're gonna take a few more workers off these wood crates now that seems to be going well. We're gonna take a few. Where's everybody working? We can reduce here this steel. We got a supply of steel for now. So we have 10 hunters. They will go out and get food. They work at night. As you can see, they're heading off to work at the hunter's hut. And we need the rest of our engineers in here. And we need to go ahead and set a research goal. But that's not on during the day. So I guess we have to wait till it... Oh, no, there it is. Add new research. I'm tempted to get heaters because I know that cold snap is coming. What it wants us to do is to grab the beacon, which we will also do soon. Faster gathering is interesting. Hunter's gear, so hunters are more effective, is all good. I think heaters just has to be the priority. It'll only take 1 workday to do that, which is perfect timing because those temperature levels are about to drop. Speed up through the night. Oh, I didn't necessarily want these guys working at night. Oh, so it's already going. All right, well, fine. You guys do your thing. We'll We'll be good on wood for a while. And they're sick. Okay, 3 people are sick but going to treatment, which is good. We can open up adaptation in the Book of Laws. We already have signed up for emergency shift. Hoping this isn't an issue right now. Child laws are something we have to take soon. I'm tempted to get the fighting arena to keeps discontent down, right? I don't have a huge amount of discontent, so I actually don't think we're going to worry about that yet. Oh, nope. So let's sign the child laws. Our choice here is to build child shelters, which will increase hope and provide children with a place in a children's shelter instead of the alternative, which is putting them to work at safe jobs. You know, I like this actually, the child shelters, because you can actually make them medic apprentices and engineer apprentices, which I find useful. I find that I think that's the way to go. I think sort of, I mean, I have a very science technology approach to games like this usually, and this seems like it would be the way to go. I can also assign an extended shift. This would, I can extend the workday in any facility to 14 hours at the price of some discontent. Just work people, work to death. We're going to build child shelters because I am a just God. Good, it's better to keep children out of harm's way. That was my Edith Hampton impression. And there's Hugh Rickhill. Makes sense to me. No, I'm not going to do that. Hugh's on board, though. I'm grateful. I was worried we didn't have the Hugh support in the community, and I'm glad to see that we do. There's a lot of hope in this community. There's a lot of hope. We fulfilled an objective. We gave them laws they like. It's a good time to live in whatever the name of this place. Frostmourne? No, that's something else entirely. So we have a good amount of coal, not a great amount of coal, a good amount of coal. And obviously at night when nobody's collecting coal, it goes down. I would like to have that secured a little bit more. I also do want to go ahead and build that child shelter. Back to work. There it is. So it needs 20 wood and 5 steel. We're close to the right amount of wood. Everybody's back at work, so this is automatically going back up. And we will build a child shelter. Now, I did not leave myself a nice warm place for the children. So it is all the more important that I get that heating technology, because children will get very cold. Why are we on 80 efficiency? One of our engineers is ill and being treated. Oh, you got a little overlay. Oh, not sick. Did they get a doctor's note? Hope so. Or there'll be hell to pay. What do I want? What do I want? I want this stuff to build for right now. We don't really have anybody to do building. We both need more people, and we definitely don't need more people, because more people is both good in that it's more people, and it's bad because that is mouths to feed. So I'm gonna eject one worker from each of these, so we can get a little bit of better construction going. 6 hours, good, not great. We have depleted our work crates here, so we can max this out again, and now we have 9 guys, 9 unemployed people. So we can go ahead and put one back here and one back here. And what else do we want? We have, let's put another 5 in steel. Let's take the engineers out actually and make this all workers. Family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. Well, I mean, the entire colony is about to be in super duper cold, so I will put it on the list. Does seem to take a while for folks to get treated. This is 50% done. Should still be done today. About 4 hours, so just in time for the end of the day, which is at 6 p.m. because 1800 is 6 p.m. I think. We still have 5 people not working. Let's go ahead and get them on coal duty. I don't see a reason not to. Go ahead and put them out here on coal duty. We're decent on wood, and we've built most of the stuff we need to. Besides, we can't really build quickly now, right now anyway. A resource depot at some point will be something we want to consider as well. As you can see, we're beginning to transition our raw food into food rations at a 1-to-2 rate. Each raw food provides 2 food rations. So like I said, we don't need a lot of people. In fact, we can probably bring this down to 1 guy for right now, because 80 is more than enough in the short term. The same degree, I don't know that we need that many people out here. I think there are more pressing needs. At some point, I will feel like I know what the right ratios are. That we are not at that point right now. So I like the UI tells you a lot. So this is interesting to me. Children cared for. The child shelter is ready, and the children are safe inside. People can work without worrying that something will happen to their kids. Hope goes up even more, and we still have people being treated. I think there's a real comparison to be made between 2 UIs out there right now, and I guess UI philosophies. Like, I think they're both very, very good UIs, in very, very different ways. Don't be hungry. There's no reason that we have food. All right, hang on. Why isn't this person eating? Everything is fine. I'm just starving to death. Well, don't go without food. We have food. You can get food. Now we will do the beacon, which is another 7 hours. Probably slightly more, considering that we're not working at full efficiency there. Stop being hungry, I guess. Go get food. Like, I can't put it any plainer than that. Well, they will at the end of their work shift. So, UIs. The one UI is this one, right? Very clean, very efficient, very stylized, very integrated into its environment. It doesn't tell you, right? It tells you the game, and the game has to support that. You know, there's a fundamental mechanics idea in here that is about Frostpunk being about really hard choices, right? Not an overwhelming degree of choices, not overwhelming information with lots of sort of meticulous interactions between those pieces of information that generate sort of the strategic layer, but a select and important structure of information, right? There's only really 4 things down here for now, and the UI may increase as we open new buildings or new technologies. But right, this is pretty straightforward stuff. I think the alternative to that you can see just recently is BattleTech, which also has a very good user interface, but there is just a lot of information on that screen. One of the big challenges to me about BattleTech is that BattleTech just simply can't teach you everything about what you're seeing on the screen all at once. It doesn't have that sort of fundamental facility. There are just too many ideas that are really smart and layered in a good way. But because there's so many interacting mechanics, right? There's elevation, and there's balance, and there's managing your heat, and there's the efficiency of different weapons, and there's evasion, and there is, mech speed and individual mech evasion, and, the turning on and off different weapons and what that does to your targeting options, and then the targeting options on individual mechs, and being able to target different elements of different mechs, and then what actual machine parts are on those different parts that may or may not be. Like, it goes on and on and on and on. It's very, very good. Like, it all makes sense. It's a really faithful, in many ways, representation of the pen and paper RPG. We are going to make the children do something else. And I think what I want them to do is be engineer apprentices. And they will help workshops speed up research, which I like. Good. I think it's like they're two completely valid ways of approaching. All wise decision, says Charles. Gladys, right? It's time for the children. Oh, God, I have to stop. No, nothing that I just did there is okay. Um, both those UI choices are really, really entirely valid, and I think they provide two very, very different experiences. Right? This is an experience, and I think a game like City Skylines falls into the same sort of camp. Where realistically, probably, there's a lot of good reason if you're not just sitting here explaining the game, even perhaps if you are, to accelerate time and let the events that are related to the decisions you make unfold. Um, and meanwhile, there's the other where it's just sort of constant reevaluation, which is a game, BattleTech, where I think there's so many different ways to play it, and any mission has so many different possible outcomes because of the plethora of ways you can approach it. Where I think this is, a game like Frostpunk is more sort of about big decisions, big yes and no moments, and then living with and adapting to the consequences. Whereas BattleTech is about, and XCOM is another one. Though I don't know. Actually, that's an interesting one, because I also felt that, well, no, XCOM has a lot of information on the screen. There's a lot of different things to be considered that are both on screen at one time and also decisions you make prior to that. So I think it falls into that second group. And I guess what it comes down to is the difference between being strategic and being tactical. BattleTech is a very, very tactical game, and it has a UI that supports a very tactical game, because tactics are all about these sort of interlocking moments and individual decisions that incrementally increase or decrease what you can what you want to accomplish. Okay, so we need to figure out how to make heaters. Or we did make heaters. Now's the time to figure out what the heck they did, instead of me prattling on. Heaters to heat workplaces during work hour. So it only works at workplace temperatures. Okay. So how do we do that? I think we're going to turn the heater on here. So that increases coal consumption. And we're going to turn the heater on at the child shelter. We don't need to turn it on here. So as you can see, like, it's a much different environment now, right? Another thing that we need to do is now probably kick our generator into overdrive. Overdrive will increase everything's sort of heat environment by one. Let's see. Yeah, and immediately you can see the impact of that. But we are putting stress on the generator. So yeah. Also, problematically, all these gathering places are now cold. So everybody working out in the resource gathering area is going to face a much more challenging situation. See, we can see here that it is very cold here. All these people now gathering cold have a high degree, a high chance of getting ill. So I think we're actually, all right. We have 264 coal. I don't think there's a need to put quite so many people at risk. We're going to drop this down to 5. Let's drop this down to 52. We have virtually nothing we can build, right? We can build a gathering post. There's no reason to be gathering any wood right now when it's quite so cold. We can go ahead and increase the hunter's hut, and we can increase the cookhouse, give people jobs there. And we got to we got to maintain our coal income. In fact, let's have all the coal people working at one place. There we go. So we're going to send a bunch of people in. Now, that's not great for our resource generation, but right now we have no pressing need for what we're building. You can see we're only just sort of maintaining. Oh, now everybody works at this coal pile. We're only just maintaining our coal. But we really only need to get through another day or so till we'll be in a little bit better situation. We can see the cookhouse is chilly, even boosting the heater. I mean, it can only do so much against 40 degrees below zero. And then at night, we'll need to turn the hunter's hut on. We don't need a heater on here, and it's not on here. Oh, and this must be warmer because it has building. Okay, so different buildings have different insulation. Okay, this is no longer functioning because we're out of raw food. All right, well that's okay. We have 123 rations, and we'll get more at night. So different buildings are better. I mean, you can just kind of look at this and see that this is a better building than these flappy, windy tents. And you can also see we're up to 20% on our generator overdrive. I'm probably going to kick that down at night because everybody will be in. Nobody's going to be in working facilities. I just want to be real careful about overloading this because if we get to 100%, the generator will explode and the game will be over, and that will be. I mean, that would be the whole series. Then it'd be like, here's how. I kind of want to see it in a way, but I don't want to see it enough that I'm going to do it. Next up, Steam Hub is interesting. Steam hubs are things that we can build outside of the generator to create zones of heat, which may be beneficial. We can also upgrade to be able to extend our generator range. That takes 50 wood, which we do have. We can do more scouts. What's a cold thumper? Oh, a coal thumper, not a cold thumper. Hunter's gear as well. I'm tempted to do this. We would need to get people getting wood again, but I think generator power upgrade. Like I just think heat is like fundamentally a thing that I want to be focused on early on. Oh, we have a gravely ill person. Frostbite. One of our people has become gravely ill due to frostbite. This will happen if people have to work in such cold conditions. Can't sign a law right now, so I'll just go, oh. A note of thanks. You're welcome. My dad got frostbite, and you said, oh, thanks. No, it's a different thing. We just wanted to thank you. You're welcome. Back in London, it was only the wealthy that didn't have to send their kids to work. This new world you're creating, we can see things will be different. It was the right thing to do. Was it? I didn't know London. Like, I didn't know I was going against London. Also, we'll need to be able to build the beacon, which is going to take wood, and we have the steel, but we do need wood again. So we are bad news, frostbite people. It's frostbite time. So we do need to. Can we even see? Yeah, we're going to need to make a decision now about radical treatment versus sustained life. Radical treatment will try to do everything to cure the gravely ill. Hope will rise. Gravely ill will be treated, but there's a 30% chance of those gravely ill being left as amputees. Will also create discontent, or we could just sort of keep them comfortable while they inevitably die. Gravely ill will be kept alive but untreated. Hope will rise. Discontent will rise. They will remain a burden, and they will take up beds in the medical post. Like, I honestly don't see what the benefit of this approach would be. If anything, I think radical treatment will be the way I go in 19 hours. So we're a day and a half from a slight temperature increase. And again, it's not going to get back to our cozy minus 20 that we so enjoyed earlier on. I think we can speed up time here while we gather more wood and steel. How much wood did we need for the beacon? 20. I think we'll get that 20 wood, and then we will shut down the wood facility again. I don't want a bunch of people to get sick, and we have 5 gravely ill people now. That cold is not to be trifled with. In fact, we're going to shut everything down. And I am not going to lower the temperature until I have to at this point, though we are already up to 46%. Give me the beacon. I don't want to block off that walkway. I don't know if it does block off the walkway or not to put that over there. We'll just build some more streets right here. And then we will build our beacon once that street is built. Okay, these are our hunters. And that is our first warning that the generator is being strained. I hate to do it. I think I'm going to turn it off. Probably what I need to do is leave it on at night and turn it off. Well, no, then I don't get the work, and I need the work. I need those hunters out. Good on food rations. Yeah, it's chugging, isn't it? Come on, build the street. %. It's going to be a chilly night for everybody. Gotta let the generator cool down a bit is not the right way to put it, because that should take about 10 seconds. 6 people now gravely injured out of our total of 80 people, 15 of which are children. Are you? James, I bet you're not one of these people. What the purpose of our struggle is. Ah, good. Philosophical debates can continue to rage, even out here at the edge of nothing. Oh, it drops slowly. That stress level is not messing around. All right, where do we have people working? We have nobody out in the areas, which is just as well because those places are brutally cold. We have the hunters returning, hopefully bringing some food with them, some much needed food. We're about to do our law, allowing us to amputate people, I guess? I guess that's what that was saying, sort of. And there we go. And that is exactly what we'll do. We will do radical treatment. And they're all going to treatment. At least we'll be saving lives. Ah, Stanley. How eloquent. I just hope they won't cut my leg off if I fall ill. Well, no promises, Robert. Here's an idea. Don't fall ill. How about that one? Beacon, can we please... Did we not build that street? I feel like that street just didn't get built. Oh, because it... Oh, I get it. So we are gonna have to reopen the wood crates. Open the wood crates. Okay, 3 sick, 1 gravely. So we've reduced the number of gravely ill. It looks like, I'm guessing this one, show me Lucy. Biggest concern is their sickness, a person on the brink of death, but a specialist in the infirmary may still be able to do something. Okay, well, we'll see. Technology tree. Oh, we opened up the technology too. Let's get the generator. Whoa, I want both of these. Can I have them both? Power or range? Power. Because I do. Oh, I need. Oh, now I really do need wood again. Everybody back to work at the wood crates. To the wood crates with you. I am ready for the temperature to rise. Generator still over 50% stressed. And now we can do it. Yes. What did I decide? Power? Power. Really probably need more. No, we're still good on steel. I need to put some people back on coal. 6 per hour, and I'm spending, what, 6 per hour, so that would just hold it flat. But now that we have the law, maybe I can risk more people's limbs. I mean, more workers in the field. I basically said the same thing. Let's see, now, is anybody building those streets? I would like those streets to be built. Can we please get on it? I have people not working. Oh, it's... Oh, no. Hey, instead of resting, build some streets. Oh, maybe I need to do that. Oh, I see. I see what I did wrong. I don't have the streets connected up. Did that do it? Okay, are the streets there now? Can I please use those streets? Yes, I can. We're going to put the beacon out here. I don't think the beacon needs to be close into the center. Also, there's a kind of Tetris thing going on here, which I'm not totally... So I'm going to put it there. It fits there best. After all of that, I just built it where I could have built it the whole time. Whatever, me. Whatever. Hunters are going out. Hopefully they're going to bring back some food. Our rations are starting to get a little low. We know are no longer lost and blind. From now on, our people will be able to survey the icy barrens that surround us, the Frostlands. And there is the beacon, rising above the last city on Earth. Very, very evocative. Very cool. They did such a good job with this. And now we get to make a decision. So the overland contains options. We can go send scouts here to check out that lost expedition. We can explore a gloomy cave. Because who doesn't want to go to a gloomy cave? There's a dark cave entrance visible on the hillside. We think we saw a faint wisp of smoke coming from it, but it's gone now. So you can deploy units from the beacon, as I understand it, right? But you need wood and workers to do it, which we will do, but not right now. Yeah, presumably right now the plan is we'll give this another go or two, and we'll see how we're liking it. Not promising any kind of sort of full campaign, but definitely a good enough opportunity for us to look at the game and get a sense of it overall. You know, it's like you can't say it doesn't evoke a emotion and kind of put a sense of place. Like there are very few games I can think of right away where I feel as much sort of in this frozen, barren wasteland as I do with Frostpunk. So, you know, that's all to its credit. Anyway, as always, my name is Sean Sands from Gamers with Jobs. Thank you for joining us. Let me know if you want to see more episodes. You know all the ways to do it. It's not your first day on YouTube. You know how to communicate that. Do it through YouTube, through traditional YouTube communication means, which I assume includes saying awful things. No. So far, this community's been really nice. Sorry, that was me being cynical about YouTube. I'm better than that. You're better. We're better than that. My name's Sean Sands. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you again real soon.